staff or anybody in the agency that wasn't able to join today. So welcome everybody. Today is our second live with Laura, so we're really excited about that. Woo!
Yay!
with me today, I have Anissa.
Hello.
And our guest speaker today is Kathy Bova, so she's going to be helping us out today with a new feature, the Renewals Manager, so we're very excited about that.
Hello, everybody.
So today our objectives we are going to go over. The new feature is DocuSign in Epic. So I'm going to show everybody how they can use that, and also the Renewals Manager. It should be turned on for everybody, and in Epic, it's on the left of your home screen. And today, Kathy Bova is going to go over market submissions that's within the Renewals Manager. So we're going to show you how to set that up and also show you how to set up real time. So you can use real time in Epic. And yes, for any of our agents who have been around for a while, real time is working. So it's fantastic and it saves you a lot of time. And just to remind everybody, if you haven't seen the emails or in our last session, we are purging suspense on the 15th. We are wiping it completely clean. So it's a good idea to go through your past X reports, go through your policies and process submitted suspended reports, make sure you have everything downloaded, or you're going to need to request another download from the carrier. And remember, you can always email training@asnoa.net with any of your questions. Everybody is muted upon arrival, so please chat in your questions or raise your hand. Anissa and Kathy are monitoring that for me today.
All right, guys, so if you haven't already done so, please register for the new and improved ASNOA website. So exciting. Affiliates have extra agency features when they log in of an executive summary of the agency. So member content is an exclusive part of the ASNOA Advantage for our agencies. So you can log in and click on resources and then go to member content. Member resources is for members only. It will show frequently asked questions, how-to questions, what's coming soon, Epic guidebook with all the Epic how-tos that we email out when you ask us how to do something, and quote sheets and exclusive Epic trainings.
So when you go into the Education tab, you're going to click on the ASNOA University, and you can register for our weekly Epic trainings, our Carrier Spotlight trainings, and the most asked about course is our Small Business Commercial Lines. And this course starts on a Thursday. So to help with additional Renewals Manager and Marketing Submission questions, Kathy is going to be hosting a weekly commercial line session. So please register at asnoa.com, and Kathy's going to help you and continuously help you with the Renewals Manager and Marketing Submission. And I'm going to be hosting a session tomorrow, which is Wednesday, it's 2:30 Central Time, and I'm going to help anybody that needs help with the new reports and getting your items out of suspense. So please register for that at asnoa.com. And Kathy's exciting class is the Small Business Commercial Line. So you can still register for this class at asnoa.com. And this class does start on Thursday, and there are 6 chapters, and it's very exciting. So please, if you're interested, email training@asnoa.com or send Kathy an email, smoke signals, whatever it may be, so you guys can get registered for that Small Business Commercial Lines course.
Yes, thank you, Laura. Yep, last chance to register, so go ahead and do that today.
Also, we do send out our ASNOA Advantage newsletter, so this comes out monthly, usually on the 15th, and this is going to let you know what's happening in the home office and your carrier spotlights and trainings that are upcoming. So keep an eye out for this. It's also going to let you know when our sales conferences are going to be in your area. And yes, it is true, we are coming right to you, the Dream Team, and we're going to be hosting an Epic class for the different states in our sales conferences. So you can register for that. You'll see the emails coming out soon, hopefully, and then you can see that on our ASNOA Advantage newsletter as well, and on our ASNOA.com website.
One more thing I want to mention is we also have additional resources for our agents. We do use YouTube videos, and we are still working on it. They are housed on the ASNOA website, and we have recordings of carrier spotlights and upcoming Epic how-to videos.
We are very excited about that. Anissa's been working really hard on
really
getting
hard.
updated for everybody. If you haven't already sent in your goals for 2019 to maintain and update your dashboard, if you are entering in policies and closing out on those opportunities and you're not seeing your meter moving, that's because we have not updated your 2019 sales goals. So please send us an email, let us know what you would like those goals to be, if you'd like to add any more of your sales teams, because we need to get those updated or your meter is not going to be updated for your new business year to date. All right, so I just wanted to thank everybody for joining. Keep sending in your questions and your emails. We really appreciate that and you letting us know how we do. So we're very grateful to have you all on today. All right, so let's get going. All right, so the first thing that I do want to show you guys is the new DocuSign that is in Epic. So we are only allowed to use one of the different e-signatures. So that's going to be DocuSign. So if you go into your attachments for your clients and you click on any of your PDF files or any files that you would like to send out for e-signature, you're going to click on Actions and you're going to send to e-signature. So you're going to go to your attachment, go to Actions, send to e-signature, and it's going to open up and take you to sign in for DocuSign. All right, if you don't have an account for DocuSign, you can sign up for one on our website at ASNOA.com or send us an email and we can show you and get you help on how to sign up for DocuSign. So no longer can you use any of the other e-signatures that you might have used before. I know that the majority of people, and that's how we chose to use DocuSign, is the majority of our agents and affiliates all use DocuSign. So we're really excited about that. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into our new Renewals Manager. So Kathy is here as our guest speaker, and she's going to take it away.
Well, hello, everybody. Good afternoon or morning, wherever you're at. It's morning still here for us. Yeah, this is a new feature that was put into Epic with the Epic 2018. Laura and I and Anissa had spent some time on, reviewing all of our options, what we can do with this. I do want to mention this. I'm going to mention it now and at the end. This is the first release of it. So Renewals Manager is basically an interactive expiration report. So how many of you, by a show of hands, actually review your expiration reports right now? 30 days or 60 days or 90 days out? Great. Okay. Fantastic. So we're going to show you what it can do now, and we're also looking for some of your feedback, of what you would like it to do. Again, this is a first release of Renewals Manager, so we want to be able to, everybody from their home base right here should be able to access it from their Epic. When you click in there, it should automatically pull in, I believe it's set up to pull in 60 days. But you can change the view to however many days. So when you see that, so this is every account we have coming up for renewal within the next 60, 90, 100, you can go 30, 60, 90, 120 days plus. But I believe the default is set for 60 days or 90 days, Laura, I'm not sure. which one we set it for.
We have it set for 90 days.
90 days. So that's a 90-day view of everything you have coming up for renewal. So now you have to ask yourself the question, what do I want to see? Do I want to see just my commercial lines accounts? Do I want to see my personal lines accounts? You will have to come in and set some columns here, but the point is it's going to show you those items coming up for renewal. You'll have some options here. You'll be able to sort or search by department. You can search it by whatever you're on as a customer service rep. You can search it by line type or even just expiration date. So you have those options to do any search. You can set the filter to search it any which way you would like as well. And in this case, we just wanted to see our commercial accounts. So we're searching it by department. So just our commercial accounts are coming up for renewal. So really the only other interaction that you're going to do on a personal lines account is going to go possibly remarket it. So that might be better still with your exception report. It'll just give you a view here of what you would do with it. And then, you know, give me some feedback of what you would like it to do for personal lines. On commercial accounts, right, we have to look at what's coming up for renewal within the next 90 days and which ones are going to automatically renew, right? Do we need to do anything on those? Which ones maybe that I need to re-quote with another carrier? Maybe I'm going to go to market appetite first and see what other carriers have the ability to quote that, right, or are interested in it. Or maybe I need to just go ahead and manually renew it. And maybe it's a bond that I just renewed, you know, or a policy I'm just going to go ahead and renew. Or I might need to actually start working on that renewal and remarket it. So we need to identify the stage of that renewal right here. And first thing I wanted to mention to you here is you're going to have to go into select columns, and you're going to be able to pick and choose some of the columns that you want to see in here, one being the line estimated premium. And I believe the renewal stage and status descriptions are there already. Otherwise, you know, again, you'll have the option to pick the view. So now if I say I want to renew this item and I want to update that stage to remarket, I'm going to update my renewal stage simply by right-clicking on it. And we put some stages in here now, rebrokered, which is one that's already came with the system, renewed, canceled, remarketing, manually renew as is, or automatically renewed, which means it would be more of a download. So if I'm going to be remarketing it, this will actually stay, this item will stay on this screen until we're done and change that stage. If you use pretty much any of the other stages, it will make these items then disappear from this view. Okay, so I just wanted to talk to you about that. If you think of other stages that you would like to have on your commercial accounts, let us know. We can have a conversation after this or register for my commercial lines class, and we can go ahead and talk about it afterwards, because I am looking for some of your input. Again, first release, we have some say. We can get some ideas out there on the product advisory committee. I have agents on with us today that actually have mentioned items on the product advisory committee, and they've come into play, right? They've been released into the Epic system. So your voice does matter. So again, we can market the stage that we want to do it, you know, what we want to do with this item. You can, I do want to mention that you can print this into an Excel spreadsheet if you choose to do that. The point of it is to actually work on your renewals while it's here, so you don't have to do that. But I know some of you already have expiration reports coming to you on an Excel spreadsheet, and you identify who's going to handle what. Okay, so if you still need to do something like that, you can do that. But when you go to the printer, you have to make sure you print to CSV file, and that'll open up an Excel, this information in an Excel spreadsheet for you. So that's kind of cool for those agents that like to do that. We're going to then show you how we could work on a particular client and say I want to go ahead and remarket somebody. And I'm going to first see, what carriers am I going to go to? Well, you can go right to market appetite, and it'll take that information from that client's application, the NAICS code or the SIC code, and it should identify the carriers that you have appointments with and who would be interested in possibly, other carriers that might be interested in quoting this. And of course, the ones in yellow are carriers you're appointed with. And there's other carriers that may show up that you're not appointed with, but they just kind of give you an indication in the industry who's doing that. And then you can go right to those portals and actually start working on small BOPs. Or what I like to do, or I like to make mention to you, that you can go right to marketing submission. Now, marketing submission is an area within the policy that you can add application information and not touch your current renewed policies. So it's called marketed submission. How many of you use marketed submission right now on commercial accounts? By raise a hand. I know there are just a few. Okay, if you want to learn more about marketed submission, I definitely want you to reach out to go to our website at ASNOA.com and go to the ASNOA University Education section where you can register for my commercial lines class. So this is an area where you can safely input all of your application information. You basically just create a master marketing submission for the term that you're going to be working on. Add the lines of business. Maybe you want to add another line of business to here. Maybe you want to add their work comp or their umbrella. You can just simply add whatever other applications you want on here. You can add a new line or you can add an existing line. There we go. And some mouse issues here. And it'll pull up all their existing lines. So if I wanted to pull in the work comp on that submission, I can do that as well. So basically, that's all you're doing. You're working in a safe area to work on these remarkets. You're updating your applications, first adding all the lines of business you want, so you have all the applications that you want. Pull in those applications that may be downloaded on the policy. That's what this is doing. It's pulling in that policy from current renewed over here to the safe area, the master marketing submission. How many of you fake renew your policies and work on them and get a quote? If you do that, don't do that. Don't ever do that. It messes up your reports, and you should never fake renew a policy. It will mess up your reports, and you could possibly miss an opportunity or lose an account because you thought it was renewed, okay? So you add the lines of business you want. You could basically go into the detail. I'm not going to go through all of the steps in marketed submission. Again, I'd like you to join my class if you're interested in learning more about this. But it does create some activities so you can start making notes, who you're working with, what carriers you're going to, blah, blah, blah. And then you can go right into your applications. This will compile all of your applications with one commercial Accord 125. So you have your one commercial AP app, you have your lines of business apps, and then you go into each app. Just basically go into each app. It's going to break it down here and fill in all of your coverage information that you need that you want to go out and quote. Once you're done filling in all your application information, you can actually add loss runs, photos, other information to that particular client submission. That actually took me back. But you can actually take that submission then and get it out to the carriers. So from the renewals manager side of things, when you're working on it, you want to make sure you flagged it for remarketing. And it should stay here until you actually have finalized that remarketing case, until you've closed that deal, okay, or moved it. If you needed to renew it with the same carrier, you'll be able to go down here to renew it. And again, update that stage renewal once you've already changed and moved it to another location. So let me ask some questions for you. What do you think of Renewals Manager? Does anybody think this is a cool tool to have an interactive expiration report within Epic like this? By a show of hands. So you're liking it. Good. I know I kind of like it too. I just don't think it does everything I want it to at this point in time. So if anybody wants to share with us, what you do with your current expiration reports, we could talk about that now, and then maybe, get some of those ideas of what we would like it to do for this feature. Anybody have any questions on it or want to share their stories on what you do with your current expiration report?
So Kathy, so if this policy downloads, if it's a downloadable policy, when you click on mark its submission, it takes that downloaded information over and fills it all in and mark its submission, correct?
That's correct.
That's amazing.
Yes. It takes those applications that download, like a BOP, commercial auto, work comp, umbrella. With most carriers, that information downloads. So you can pull that into market submission. You're going to have all of the coverage detail on there. You might need to just go through the application, update some of the limits with your customer as to what you want to quote it for the next year, and be ready from there to go ahead and just submit it to the carriers. So an interactive expiration report is really what this is all about. Marketing submissions, if you want to learn more about that and learn how to do that with your commercial items, you're going to be able to not only put your submissions together, you're going to be able to track who you sent every application to, what their reply or response premium quotes were, and then you can track it from year to year. Next year, you can go look at past year's submissions and say, okay, I already went to Hartford Travelers, this, they don't do this class of business, what have you. You can send your BOP work comp to one carrier, your umbrella BOP to another carrier, commercial auto to another carrier, or all of it to one carrier, and you'll be able to track all of that within that marketed submission area. But I really wanted just to kind of focus more on the renewals manager part of it too. Bring everybody's attention back to that and just ask if you have any questions regarding Renewals Manager. If you don't today, go back to your desk, click on your home page, click on Epic, click on Renewals Manager, and go play around in there and see what it can do for you. And give me some feedback if you would, please. I would just like to hear back from you and say, you know what, I'd really like Renewals Manager to do this. This is what I use my expiration report for, and I'd really like to see this in Epic. And Laura and I will absolutely go out and post those on the product advisory committees. All right. Any questions?
We do have another question about renewing a policy. So when I'm at this point, Kathy, and I would never want to use that renew button if my policy already downloaded, because then I'm going to have a duplicate, correct?
That's correct. So if I go to renew somebody that's already been renewed, I don't know if I chose the right one here, but if this one was already renewed, I would get a warning saying this policy was already renewed. Do you want to continue? I don't have a live case in there, Laura, to show you that, but it would definitely say that. So if you clicked on renew, it would say it already renewed on the current renewed side. So maybe it was an automatic download. Our January downloads, for the most part, should have already updated your customer, right? But this is still going to show you everybody that had an X date within this next 90 days, whether it renewed or not. So great point, Laura. Thank you very much for bringing that up.
Okay, so another question, Kathy. If I'm done, I'm already done, we have that one, we remarketed it, we sold it, we issued it. At this point, when I go up and change my renewal stage, there we go. So I'm going to update my renewal stage, and I'm going to just manually renew it as is. I'm not going to do anything with it. It's perfect. They accepted it. So now it's manually renewed, and then it'll be gone then off of this tomorrow, correct?
Correct. This will only stay. If anything, I think only remarket is the only item. If you change it to the remarket stage, that will stay here on this list view until you actually change that stage, right? New will stay. Renewed will only stay on for a day and it'll move. Canceled, day and move, right? Automatically renewed will also be removed from this list. So it's kind of weeding out the things that you don't need to work on, right? We just want to leave open here the items we need to work on. Everything else that's automatically renewing, you don't care and you're good with it, then you can go ahead and say that one automatically renewed, I'm good with it.
Oh, I like that.
Right. Sorry, where do we find? Okay, so we'll go back to the beginning. I see some other questions in here. So do policies automatically renew if you don't do anything and just let it renew? Yes. So if you have a BOP with Hartford, say, and that's where you've placed it, your download came in. Everybody watches their downloads, right? Everybody makes sure those policies are downloading. When the whole idea of a download is to automatically update your clients every single change, every single renewal, every single cancellation. So yes, if I had a BOP that was automatically renewed and it got renewed, it would still show here because it's going to have, it's going to show you everything coming up in the expiration report, but you won't have to worry about it if you know it's a traveler's BOP. You know that's going to automatically renew, right? Does that answer your question, Becky? I would change the stage on it, though, that it automatically renews. And then this way it takes it off your list, right? Okay, good. It answers your question. And then Joe Tassoni wants to know where we find this. Okay, so you go back to your home base. Let me click out of here. Go to your home base. You should all see it on the bottom left corner here of your navigation panel on home base. If you don't, email training@asnoa.net and Laura will look into it and make sure that's up and running. So you just simply click on it here, and if you all do that now, you should be able to see all of your policies coming up for renewal for the entire agency. It has an expiration date within the next 90 days. I do want to mention if you are going to be working with filters at all, like I just sorted this and we had it sorted by department, then I went back and tried to search somebody by account name. I had to clear my filter to be able to go back and say I want to sort it again by my department or if I want to see everybody coming up for renewal.
Now, they're only going to have access to their branch that they have security for.
That's correct. You will only see the items you have security to. What I do like about it is if I am a CSR in an agency and my name shows as a CSR for those clients that I work on, then I can come in here and sort it by my CSR name. That's pretty cool.
I love that. That is cool.
Right? Yeah,
yep.
So it all goes back to, I think that's really a nice feature too. And again, you have other options. If I'm the manager of a particular, group of clients and I have my name listed as the manager on every client that I entered, right? I can come in here and sort it by just the manager of those clients. So Tiffany said, I just entered a master marketing submission, but I don't see where the Accord generates for me to email. All right, I'll work with you, Tiffany, after this call, and we'll go through that with you. So on master marketing submissions, let me see if I can go back to Redbud. I'm going to go out this way, though.
I think it's the top one.
Red Guarded?
Nope, the test client.
Oh, there he is. All right. So when you're in master marketing submission, you're always looking at current renewed view, right? From when you're in a customer. Master marketing submission is just taking you right here to market it. It's just a different view of your customer's policies, right? So when you go to marketed, this is the safe area that you can go work in, create your master marketing submission. So I do have some done here for you. You can actually list all the lines of business you have in here. So when you have all your apps in here, you fill them all out, you're done working on them, right? You can add any attachments to there if you want, loss runs, photos, supplemental apps, whatever you might need for that submission. And now you close that all out because I've already filled in all my applications. Then you decide, who am I going to send what to? What carrier am I going to send what application to? I can send to one carrier all the apps, or I can send to one carrier just 3 of the apps that I want. And you can pick and choose what attachments go to them as well. And then, and to do that, you basically are going to use it through action. So again, I'll work with you on these steps. I'd be happy to. If you're interested in learning more, just register for my commercial lines class and I'll be happy to work with you. Bring a case that you're working on and you can start working on those applications and sending them through. When they come back
to your weekly class, correct, Kathy?
Yep, my weekly commercial lines EPIC class. Yes, I also have my small business class. So if anybody wants to learn more about small business, that you just need to either brush up on it or you need to learn, nothing about small business. This is the class for you. It's going to begin on Thursday, so it's not too late to register for that as well. But in here, under the marketed submission area, you can also track what their response premiums are, and there's just a lot of detail. I find it easier just then to dump this information into an Excel spreadsheet, and then I put all my notes of what the carrier said by each line of business. So that would be the little tip I'd give you. But that's a really cool feature. It's just going to give you that workable, interactive expiration report, pull in the client that you're working on, and then it can just send you right over to market submission so you can start working on it. All right, any other questions or anybody else want to see anything else in Renewal Manager or have any questions about Renewal Managers? Looks like we're good, Laura. Well, thank you, everybody. I hope you test it out on your side. Again, please give me some feedback. You could just email it to training@asnoa.net, and we'll review your feedback and get some of those changes out there that you guys want to see. If you want this tool to work for you the best way it can, then let us know what you want it to do. And we'll, see if it does it already or if we can get it out there on the product advisory committee so we can get that into the next release or one of the future releases. So thank you all. Thank you, Laura, for having me. Great job.
Thank you, Kathy.
Appreciate you, girls.
Thank you. If you guys would like more information on that, because I know you're going to have lots of questions, so register at asnoa.com for Kathy's weekly commercial lines training session. You're not registering for the big small business commercial lines. You'd be registering for the weekly commercial lines course. And you can register for that every week if you want. It's a weekly session that she hosts. So thanks, Kathy. We appreciate that. So real quick, guys, I wanted to show you real time. So real time is available and you have to set this up. So if you locate one of your clients, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to be using you, Kathy, as an example. So I have my policies on my screen for my clients, and I want to use real time. So I'm going to show you how it works, what it does, and then I'll show you how it sets up. So from real time, I want to go into the billing of MetLife for this policy for Kathy. And it is popping up on my other screen, and I'm going to bring it over here for you. So here it is, and it brings you right to it. So once you already have your username and your password set up, it is going to bring you right from Epic right to that policy information. So you have to come in here now to set it up and click on local security. So you have to go into one of your policies, click on local security, and it's going to bring up all of the carriers that use real time. So now you're going to find the carriers that you want to use real time with, and you're going to highlight all of them. You have to highlight all of them to put in the username and the password. Then you're going to edit your credentials for that, put in your username, your password, confirm it, update it, and then you would do that again for all of your other ones. So you would just go down. At that time, once you put that username and password in, it's going to save. Then you can add your other ones in. But remember, you have to do all the different carrier lines of business that are in here and update your username and your password. Once you do that, then you are able to come into your, let's just try here. Go into real time, everything is set up, and then you can go right into the policy section of the carrier website. So it's going to build
real
up
time
the
offers
request.
you, Laura, policy inquiry and billing inquiry, right?
It does. It does, and it's popping up on my other screen again. And then you would have, it would already save your username and password in here, and then it would update, take you right to the billing screen, right to the policy screen for that. So you have to go in, put in your username and your password in the local security section of real time. So it's not going to, what was JV's question? It looks a lot like Easy Links option, takes you right to the quote. Absolutely. So you're going to have to come back in here and reset up all of the different username and passwords for the carriers. So for instance, Travelers uses the system, but you have to come in here and set it up directly through Travelers. So you're going to come in here, it's not, Travelers is not here. So you would click on one of your Travelers policies, let's just say this is Travelers, and then you would just go right to the billing or the policy, and then type in your username and password, how it came up for MetLife, and then you won't have to do it again. So they hold their own security, whereas the other carriers where you set up the local security, Epic is going to hold that security for you. So you will have to come back in here and change your password once that updates in the different carriers. Some of them do it every 60 days. Some of them just don't. So all you have to do is come back in here and go to local security and set that up. So once you do this once you set this local security up, it is set up for all of your clients. So you don't have to set this up for each account you go into. So if we went into my account, and I would not have to reset this up. So it would take me right over to billing, claims, or policy. Does that answer your question, Nicole? And it's user specific. So everybody has their own username and passwords. If they're licensed within your agency, they would have to come in here and set up their own. So I have my local security set up. Kathy has her local security set up. So everybody would have to have their own setup. Thanks, Nicole.
And just so you know, on top of that, it literally saves, everybody needs time saving event tips, right? This is what Laura is doing, giving you a time saving tip here. It's literally, what did we say, Laura? 18 clicks it saves you.
Yeah. It saves you a lot of time to come in here and use real time. Prior, I know people had some reservations, they weren't using it. There had some errors, but Applied Systems has updated it. It works fantastic. And I really hope that you guys are all right now setting up your local security and testing this out. If you have any problems, please send us an email at ASNOA, training@asnoa.net, and we can take a look at it for you. So this is local security within real time, and it will take you right into your policy, your billing, your claims, into that carrier website. It's fantastic. You guys are going to love this. It's going to save you so much time. All right, does anybody have questions in regards to real time? Do I need to go over that again? I'm going to send you guys out the PowerPoint, the recording, cheat sheets on real time, and how to register for our upcoming sessions. David has a question, so I'm going to unmute you, David. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here. I don't see progressive in real time. Am I missing it somewhere?
When you go into progressive, so you find one of your progressive policies,
Okay.
and you go into real time, and then you click your billing or policy or claim, it's going to take you to progressive, and it's going to ask you to log in your username and password.
Oh, you do it
Progressive,
there instead of in the local?
yes, and the
Oh,
same
okay.
with travelers too. You may find that some carriers may not be on real time. You may find that, but a lot of them are. Every time a carrier comes on board with real time, Applied Systems does update this local security list for us.
Yeah,
So when we
you know
first
what?
started out
I
a
got the
while ago,
message. Yeah, progressive is not in it, obviously. It says that. No carrier set up for this state.
it's saying that, okay, so I'll look into that and see
Okay.
if it is state specific or how that is working.
That'd be great. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, David.
Yep, thank you too.
Anybody else have any questions? Does anybody want me to go back through that again? I will stay on afterwards if anybody has any questions. Just wanted to remind you, we are purging suspense on the 15th, so it is going to be really important that you guys do check suspense. If anybody has any questions in regard to suspense, if they want to go ahead and raise their hand. I just want to thank everybody for joining our Live with Laura today, and thank Kathy for coming on and being our guest speaker and going over the Renewals Manager for everybody. So please, you guys, use real time, use the Renewals Manager so we can get some feedback on how everybody is liking that. And also, I'm going to have that session tomorrow, the weekly Epic servicing session, so you can jump on, ask your questions about reports or getting your items out of suspense. So we'll hang tight here, and thank you everybody for joining. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Anissa.